Here's what I've received on the third day of the new year for Tree. That Hanukkah really starts on the 1st of Kislev. And there are 24 silent days, which correspond to Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Li'olam Ve'ed, of 24 letters. And then on the 25th day, Hanukkah, which relates to the Shema, with 25 letters in it, which is the hand, 5 fingers of the hand, even though there's really only 4 fingers. 5 fingers of the hand times 5 each, which relates to the 5 Gevorot, which is actually the Gematria of Gevorah, is the actual Gematria of Li'olam Va'ed. The last 2 words of the Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Li'olam Va'ed. What's greater than this? They say that the Shema, that is known, actually. But then they say the Shema, which comes on the 25th, relates to Hanukkah. But now what I say is that Hanukkah, which is normatively observed as 8 days, is really 16 days, which is the Dalet of the Shema, which is 4 times the size of the regular Dalet. That's 4 times 4, that's 16. And so the idea of 16 days actually comes from the Dalet of the Shema and how it's extended verbally. But if you add 16 to 24, so if Hanukkah is 16 and 24, you get 40 days. 40 days comes out to be the 10th of Tevet, which is what I've said is and should be the last day of Hanukkah. And so this makes Hanukkah 40 days. Why don't we observe it like this? In a certain sense, this has parallels to the Christian world, and that's why. There are different ways to observe Christmas. There's Christmas as the 25th, which is a parallel to the 25th day of Kislev. And then people observe the 12 days of Christmas, which is very much like the lighting of the menorah, till January 6th. That will make as a combination into the to the 10th of Teves. So that's how my ending of the 10th of Teves is really like the ending of the 12 days of Christmas. But there's also observance that some observe Christmas until the 2nd of February. And that's called Candlemas Day. It relates to candles. And Candlemas Day, the 2nd of February, is 40 days. After the 25th of December. So 25th of December till the 6th of January is 12 days. That's Little Christmas. And then uh, 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 28 more days is to February 2nd, and that's 40 days. So Christmas is 40 days. And if you start Hanukkah from the 1st of Kislev and you extend it to the 16 days of the lighting of the two ways of Beth Shammai and Beth Hillel, or as Beth Hillel and then Beth Shammai, it comes out to be 40 days. So there's a parallel between the 40 days of Christmas and the really true observance of the 40 days of Hanukkah. Why I even am aware of this is that my father's birthday, he was born in the secular calendar, the solar calendar, whatever they call it. He was born January 2nd. He was always known in his family that he was born, excuse me, January 6th he was born. It was always known in his family that he was born on January 6th. The only thing was that when he got his birth certificate, it said February 2nd. Never figured out why. He could never figure out why, and all we could do was guess. That he was actually born on January 6th, which is the day, the end of the 12 days of Christmas and what they call Three Kings Day, or Day of the Epiphany, or Little Christmas. And maybe the people, he was born at home, maybe the midwives, maybe he didn't have Jewish midwives, maybe they didn't report his birth, my father's birth, till they didn't report it till February 2nd. Maybe they didn't do anything. They were observing Christmas and just reported it then. We don't know. But on his birthday was January 6th, but they didn't report it till February 2nd, and that's his birth certificate. And so the strange thing is that I should have been the one now to observe 16 days of Hanukkah, and from the 25th of Kislev. And now I've just learned, because this is what's happened to me this year, just now, since the last observance of my, actually since the 6th of January, this happened to me. Because I stopped saying Kaddish for my brother's Zelam, and it happened on the 6th of January. That I started to be in the Yetzirah world. The Yetzirah world. And the Yetzirah world of Malakim comes from the whole verse. Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Lioilam Ve'ed. And those 24 letters are brought down, not by me, they're brought down as the first 24 days of Kislev. And then the observance of Hanukkah as the Shema on the 25th day with the 25 letters of the Shema. So That's the third day of Hanukkah. I mean, of the third day of this month of Shevat, and the first day is the Beth Shammai New Year for tree, into the Beth Hillel of the 15th New Year for tree, and I celebrate all 15 days. And this is what I've received on the third day. There's a lot more here that I received on the third day, because the angels say Baruch Shem Kavod, and that kind of like sets off the whole thing, and that's Gematria 600. But I've read something else that the Ben Ish Hai used to also say after that, Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto, and bow his head down. And so like a nod down. Now if you add the 600 of Baruch Shem Kavod and Malkuto, which is 502, that's 1102, and there just so happens to be here 16 letters in Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto. No, I don't consider that the 16 days of Hanukkah, but they could be. Because these 600 and 502 is 1102 plus 16, that's 1118. So Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto, and then he kind of like stopped after that. That corresponds to the 1,118, which is the total sum of Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. In Gematria, that's 1,118. So that parallels Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto with the letters. And there's plenty of stuff in this, like the two names of Yud He Vav He is 232, and the name Elokim, the four names of Yud Ke Vav Ke, that's 232, and the three names of Elohim as 300, 295, and 291, that's 886. So 886 plus 232 comes out to be 1118, which is the Shema. And all this has to do with Hanukkah for me. And these 40 days of Hanukkah. And the last day of Christmas. And what is that last day? The 40th day of Christmas called? Candlemas Day. Candlemas Day. And they proceed with candles, Christians. And that day for me, that 40th day for me, is the 10th day of Teves. And that 10th day of Teves is Candlemas Day, is the lit day, and it's the final celebration of Hanukkah. Yes, the 10th of Teves, the fast for the siege, the surrounding, the mem, the final mem, the 600, the Baruch Shem Kavod of angels surrounding Yerushalayim on the 10th of Teves, the last day of Hanukkah. These 40 days parallel 40 days, another 40 days that oh, as I say this, another 40 days that Moshe was on Mount Sinai. So not only was he there 120, he was there 160 days. And what's 160? It's the word Zelem. Zelem, 160. And the final two letters of Zelem, Lamed Mem, 70. And that corresponds to the large iron of the Shema. In the Zelem, which left 30 days before my brother's death on the 6th of February. And that's why I stopped saying, well, his Zelem left on the 6th of January. "30 days before." And that's why I celebrate the 6th of January, which was my father's birthday. And it's also the 12th day of Christmas. And all this has been sent to me by the Malakim that are now evident and in my life that came from my brother after 1 year, and his soul has been finished with the Osea world, and his soul has moved up after 11 months, and is plus the 30 days of the Zelem. So his real death was not February 6th, but January 6th, when the Zelem left. And now we've entered the world of Yetzirah for my brother's Shimon, my brother's soul.